Hello everyone back there in Penang. You're joining me, Michael Teoh here in a very special talk dedicated to all of you today. Know your purpose. Now, before I begin this sharing, I have a confession to make, though it's quite embarrassing. I'm actually from Penang as well, same with all of you. In fact, I'm from Prague. But unfortunately, I'm unable to be there with all of you right now, but I wanted to make sure, as I was speaking to the organizers, that my video could at least reach to all of you back there. Now, thank you again for the opportunity. Now, today's topic is actually quite interesting, and it's actually quite synonymous to me: overcoming odds, knowing your purpose. All right, and I think this is really important, especially when you're still studying medical courses, what I call the scientific courses. I was never good at it to begin with. I've always been a university student. But what I tend to find is that we have dreams. And when I first started out young, I've always wanted to be a doctor, a scientist, never thought of becoming an entrepreneur and a trainer, a motivational speaker who I am today, going across 22 countries around the world, delivering my services. But what happened was, every time when I was faced with a challenge, I've always took it up to the stage. I've always made sure that I battled those challenges. I've always made sure to think positive. I've always made sure to think of the solution instead of the problem. And I think the world works in such a mysterious way that when you win in any of your challenges, when you start to overcome your challenges, when your heart and your spirit start to settle down to tell you that the problem is over, you've got it under control, life will pave its way for you. And that was how I've grown. When I was in primary school taking UPSR during that time, it's always a thought, the glamorous thought of becoming a doctor or a scientist. And then when I went on to high school, I thought it's quite interesting. I would like to explore business. So did the Young Entrepreneur Society in high school. And right after that, from high school, from being an entrepreneur a little bit, when I furthered my studies to college, it was in Penang, that was when I realized that I may want to be a politician. Because I was running for student council, I became the president, and I started championing the rights of students. And then after that, I furthered my studies to university. And in university, I wanted to be a corporate CEO because I got involved with companies like Deloitte, Boston Consulting Group. I was consulting the world's largest companies through competitions that I would join as a student. Now, after I finished my studies in university, I came out and I thought I was going to be a corporate person, but instead I got drawn in by a group of friends to start a project management business, which today we proudly do TED Talks or TEDx in Malaysia, one of the more I would say glamorous but also insightful platforms for knowledge sharing anywhere in town, my personal favorite. And at the same time, I've been doing TEDx until the year 2011 when I won the world's largest social entrepreneurship competition. And from becoming an entrepreneur, having a project management business, I went on to become a volunteer for an entire year to 22 countries. Now, I came back to Malaysia last year and I thought, I'm going to go back to my business, which I did. I'm a very happy entrepreneur right now, comfortable. But what happened was, I thought, I've gone to 22 countries. I would like to share strategies of how young people like yourself can develop your potential to succeed, harness your communication skills, your leadership skills. How do you give back to society while receiving more in return? And that was when I became a trainer, I became a motivator, I became a consultant for government agencies, companies, NGOs, even universities to design courses for young people like you to develop yourself. And today I'm speaking to you as a friend, as an entrepreneur, as a trainer, as someone who is interested towards your development. But if you have noticed, on every stage of my life, there were challenges. We didn't have enough money to sustain our staff when we first started, or we didn't know where to go. I didn't know how to train people. I had to get mentors. When I joined student politics, I had to raise votes. After raising votes, I have to represent the voices of the students. But I never gave up. Every step of the way was a learning curve for me. And it's such a fulfilling moment when you have overcome a hurdle, when you have actually won a challenge, and that has actually grown you into this person that you are today. So I've just shared with you the different stages of my life, but the moral message here is simple. No matter what challenges you're in right now, no doubt you may not be that certain what the future holds for you. Have a good mindset, a positive spirit, persevere. Do your best. Don't do drugs. Don't be a wasted alcoholic. Don't do crimes. Whatever simple advice that your parents, the priest in your temple would tell you. But in whatever challenges that you embark next, either in entrepreneurship, starting a career, always persevere. Because at the end of the day, you will discover your purpose. And besides, like I've mentioned, our world is interconnected. We're all here to serve a purpose. And our purpose change over time. For example, our Prime Minister would have served as a member of parliament before. He was not the Prime Minister, but his role has evolved across the years. Think about that as an example. This is Michael Teoh here, sharing all this good message with all of you. I would like to connect with you. Do visit my website, www.michaelteoh.com. That's the site where I share about opportunities to volunteer, to work on some really exciting projects with me. Catch me on Facebook. I would really encourage all of you to connect with me, subscribe to me on Facebook, get connected on Twitter, and again, enjoy the rest of the conference. Michael Teoh here, signing off, and once a Penangite, always a Penangite.